to all our esteemed CCR TV viewers, a warm welcome. माय मोगाचो येवकार सगळ्यांक तुमकां जे CCR TV पळयणाऱ्यांक. आयचो आमचो प्रोग्राम जावन आसा ब्रेकिंग बॅरियर्स. ब्रेकिंग बॅरियर्स आयचे कार्यक्रमांत we will be talking about pollution, and we are zeroing on a very big problem which has found no solution for the last 27 years. People have now come again in a form of protest. They have had two sets of protests, and the issue does not seem to have a solution. Very sad state of affairs that it is affecting human beings, also besides the other animals, but human beings, human lives are at risk because there is a pollution in the air, in the water, and in the land. There seems to be a very big problem. Nobody knows why it has remained unsolved for the past 27 years. People have now come back again and they have been collecting signatures. So far I do not know exact number, but they said about 750 people have signed their petition requesting the government to do the needful, which has been neglected for the past 2 decades or so. To know exactly where the people of Cuncolim stand, we have two of the Cuncolcars here with us, and we welcome Dr. Johnson Fernandez, basically an ENT surgeon, very well known in the medical field. My Magaso Yokar, Dr. Johnson. We have another lady with us, and she is also part of this agitation that now is going on, which has restarted, and we welcome Razel Aguiar, also from Cuncolim, a housewife now. My Mogaso Yokar, Dogainko Itumka. Doctor, all of a sudden now, after being dormant for 27 plus years, how is that people of Cuncolim now are thinking of agitating? They have started with a signature campaign demanding action against pollution, and locals now conducted an inspection in a bid to detect the source or sources of pollution. Before I know you have a lot of matter with you, I have to share with you the report from the Goa State Pollution Control Board from 2012. Solid samples. They examined two types of samples. One is solid and one is liquid. At that time, they found that the solid samples had cadmium, copper, manganese, iron, lead, and they were far in excess of the permissible limit. And this is defined not by I, you, or anybody else, but under the Schedule 2 of Hazardous Waste Management, Handling and Transboundary Rule of 2008. The liquid samples, they found iron, manganese, copper, cadmium, lead, nickel, and also in exceeding limits for even drinking water. That means you all people from Cuncolim cannot rely on the water that you are drinking today, especially from your own wells. You have been associated with this movement right from the beginning, and you will know better, in a better position to share with us how it started and what happened thereafter.
जोवीत बाब सांगपाचें म्हणल्यार जेन्ना पळय कुंकळची इंडस्ट्रियल एस्टेट जेन्ना पळय काम चालू करपाचें आशिल्लें, आमचो लेट शांताराम नायक MP जो पळय आशिल्लो ताणें मिटींग घेतिल्ली रेजलाच्या घराचे लागींच, आनीक ते मिटिंगेक ताणें सांगिल्लें तुमकां सगळ्यांक जॉब मेळटले आनी सगळे लोक तेन्ना म्हणपा लागले जॉब मेळटले पूण कसल्यो इंडस्ट्रीज येतल्यो बिकॉज सगळ्या पेक्षा म्हत्वाचें म्हणटा तें एक आसा की जॉब मेळटले जाल्यार त्या प्रमाणे लोकांचें शिक्षण जावन तयारी करपाक जाय ते त्या कारखान्याक काम करपाक आनी लोक तयारीन रावले ओके म्हणपा लागले पूण थोड्या लोकांचो विशय असो आशिल्लो बाबा थंय पोल्युशन जातलें तूं कसली इंडस्ट्री हाडटलो अशे खुबशे प्रश्न मांडले आनी तो म्हणपा लागलो कांय जावपा ना बऱ्यो इंडस्ट्री हाडटले पूण हाडल्यो कसल्यो सगळे पळय रोलिंग मिल्स पळय आसा 14 रोलिंग मिल्स आमचे कडेन कुंकळे आसात 14 वे डे मेक ऑल दी स्टील प्रोडक्ट्स आमचे पळय टेरेसा घालपाचे रॉड्स पळय आसा आमचे सी शेप पळय हे आसा एंगल्स पळय आसा ते करतात आनी तातूंत जे पळय स्लॅग पळय उरता तातूंत आर्सेनीक आसा तुवें आतां ते सॅम्पल वाचल्या हांव मातसो फुडें वता तुका सांगपाक हे स्लॅग जे पळय आसा ते रस्त्याक उजा करतात रस्ते करपाक आनी जेन्ना आमकां कळ्ळें की हे स्लॅग सगळे थंय पावल्ले आसा आनी लोक अशे ते फोडून बिडून ते रस्त्याक उजा करता म्हणून आमचो जो पळय आतां न्यू बायपास पळय काडला नुवेंच्यान काडला तो येता तो आतां वेर्ना पर्यंत थंय लगेच आमचे हे स्लॅग घातिल्ले आसा लोकांनी थंय बीन तेन्ना बोवाळ केलो बाबा हे स्लॅग हाडून हांगा कित्याक घालता काय म्हणून ते काळें पळयतकीर लोक आबूज जातात निरीन आमकां नॅशनल एनवायरमेंटल इंजिनियरींग रिसर्च इन्स्टिट्यूट टोल्ड अस दॅट कॅन बी यूज फॉर रोड्स आमी मान्य केलें ह्या हायकोर्टान जेन्ना पळय आमची पब्लीक इंट्रस्ट लिटिगेशन म्हणून आमची लेटर पळय कन्वर्ट केली तेन्ना आमी मान्य केलें बाबा ओके फायन आर्सेनीक स्लॅग कॅन बी यूज फॉर मेकिंग रोड्स पूण निरी सांगपाक विसरले की तातूंत जें पळय आर्सेनीक पळय उरता दॅट गेट्स डिबाउंड वेन यू टेक दॅट होल थिंग एट 2000 डिग्री सेंटिग्रेड अगेन ते कोण रस्त्याचे उजो घालून 2000 डिग्रीचेर कोण व्हरपाकच ना The other way of debounding that arsenic is when you put concentrated acid. So आमची फेरोअलॉयज म्हणून एक कंपनी आशिल्ली तांचे ट्यूब वेलांक आमकां आर्सेनीक मेळ्ळें आंबावली एक बांय पळय आशिल्ली तातूंत आमकां आर्सेनीक मेळ्ळें ते रिपोर्टान ना आनी वाय द पोल्युशन कंट्रोल बोर्ड इज हायडींग ऑल्सो आय विल लेट यू नो आर्सेनीक वॉज टेस्टेड बाय फॅक्टरीज अँड बॉयलर्स नॉट बाय द गोवा स्टेट पोल्युशन कंट्रोल बोर्ड who gave the authority to the Goa State Pollution Control Board to allow these industries to come when you do not have an equipment nor the reagents to test this type of elements which are found into the byproduct or which are found in the end product of these industries. So आमकां ते मेळनाका आमी क्वेश्चन तो विचारलो क्वेश्चन विचारतकीर आमकां हो आन्सर मेळ्ळो हो आन्सर मेळटकीर आमी कितें केलें आमचे कडेन जे कोण पळय सायंटिस्ट आशिल्ले तांचे कडेन फायंड आउट करून आमकां कळ्ळें की कॉन्सन्ट्रेटेड एसीड घातल्यार तें डिबाउंड जाता म्हणून आमकां कळपाक जाय आशिल्लें हें आर्सेनीक उदकांत गेलें कशें फायनली वी केम टू नो that the two industries, one was Sunrise Zinc which was closed after our agitation and after filing the case and the second one is Nicomet which is started back again by Vedanta today. Both these industries were using concentrated acid म्हणून ते कितें करतात ते कॉन्सन्ट्रेटेड एसीड एकदां उजार करून जालें की ना तांचें तें काडटा आनी खंय वतयतात ते स्लॅगाचेर गेले की ना आर्सेनीक गेट्स डिबाउंड एंड इट गोज बॅक इन टू द एनवायरमेंट दिस इज हाव आर्सेनीक वॉज फाउंड इन टू द वेल्स which is not there into the
रिपोर्टान पळय
ना
2012
it is not there
आर्सेनिक मेन्शनूच करूंक ना
now I'll tell you again going further we wanted to find out who is testing arsenic so the Goa State Pollution Control Board started telling us it is done by factories and not boilers I said why factories and boilers and गेले जाय ते म्हणटा आमची मशीन मोडलो आसा so you break the machine and keep because otherwise you are forced to check and when you are forced to check you get it positive मागीर ते वॉच घेवन भोंवची पडटा गव्हर्मेंट ऑफिसरांक सो ते कितें करता मशीन म्हणलें जाल्यार प्रॉब्लेम सॉल्व जालो कित्याक टेस्ट रिपोर्ट ना कोणान तुका कांयच करपाक शकना this is what happened and that time we told the High Court that if the Goa State Pollution Control Board doesn't have the lab doesn't have the facilities they should shut down these industries this was point number 1 so आमकां ते इंडस्ट्रीज हाडल्यो ते रोलिंग मिल्स पळय आसा तातूंत तुका तें काम पळय आसा इतले हाय टेम्परेचर काम करपाक आमच्या गोंयकारां कडेन तें जायना इट इज नॉट पॉसिबल सो कोण येता थंय काम करपाक from Orissa, from Bihar, from Andhra Pradesh, from Karnataka, all these people are working in those industries. So जे तेंपार आमचे कुंकळच्या लोकांचे कानान घातले की आमकां जॉब मेळटले म्हणून कसले जॉब ते
पूण सगळे हे पळय भायली इंडस्ट्री गोंयांत येता नंबर 1 प्रॉमिस सगळ्यांक तुमकां गोंयकारांक जॉब मेळटले म्हणून कालूच एक इंटरव्यू हांवें आयकला मारिनाचो तो म्हणटा 290 जॉब्स गोंयकारांकूच मेळटले म्हणून आनी कोण तरी ताका विचारलें आनी हजारांनी हे पळय फिशरमॅन रांपोणकार बी आहा ताचें कितें तूं 290कूच दितलो आनी हेरांनी कितें करपाचें. तशेंच IIT पळय रिवणा पळय येवपाचें आहा तें एक कोण तरी सांगूंक लागलें जॉब सगळे गोंयकारांक मेळटले म्हूण. इतले पळय आतां भायल्यो इंडस्ट्री आहा, IIT आहा, नॅशनल ट्रेनींग इन्स्टिट्यूट आहा, बिर्ला बी आहा थिंगा. कितले गोंयकार तांकां नोकरी मेवल्या कोणाकूच खबर ना अजून. इवन यू आर हॉस्पिटॅलिटी इंडस्ट्री, इवन यू आर काजिनोज ते सगळे आमचे नॉर्थ इस्टूच देखूंक येता. रातचे तरी तूं पणजे येत तुका दिसता की यू आर इन द नॉर्थ इस्ट इन गोवा म्हण. सांग तुका हे सगळे पळय येता. तांणी केन्नाच फॅक्ट्स अँड फिगर्स हाऊ मेनी गोवन्स हॅव बीन एम्प्लॉयड, which are the positions they hold, ते कांयच केन्नाच तांणी उक्तें करूंक ना.
I'll give you a simple example of this analysis. What has happened over here is the horse is not in the front, the cart is in the front. And what is happening, I will tell you, explain to you, because when we had the Verna Industrial Estate, जेन्ना वेर्ना इंडस्ट्रियल एस्टेट पळय आयली तेन्ना आमकां एडवर्ड फलीप बाबान हाडिल्ली ती आनी आमकां सांगिल्लें दॅट इज गोइंग टू बी द इलेक्ट्रॉनीक सिटी. आमी तेन्ना 10वी 11वी 12वी आशिल्ले, सो आमचे एक मनान विचार आशिल्लो इंजिनियरिंगाक गेले जाल्यार आमी इलेक्ट्रॉनिक्स घेवपाचें आनी सामकें वेर्ना कामां आसतलें अशें आमचे एक मनान विचार आशिल्लो. सद्याक कितें जालां, इट इज बिकम अ फार्मा पार्क. It's not that there are no electronic equipments that are being manufactured there, but it's become a major pharma park. You tell me how many pharmacy colleges are there? There are only 2 pharmacy colleges. एक आसा आमची गोवा कॉलेज ऑफ फार्मसी विच इज गव्हर्मेंट ओन, अदर वन इज द PS कॉलेज ऑफ फार्मसी. हे 2 कॉलेजांत चडांत चड भुरगे जे पळय तयार जाता, एक 450 भुरगे पास जातले म्हज्या कोतान, मे बी अ लिटल बीट मोर और मे बी अ लिटल बीट लेस. एकच जर तरी आमची फॅक्टरी धर जाय जे फॅक्टरी कडेन 10 प्लांट आसा थंय सिप्ला, ताजे एट्रिशन रेट पळय आसा, जे भायले गांवांत वतात, जे वयर शिकपाक वतात आनी खंय वतात, आपणाच्या गांवां वतात, तांचोच नंबर आसा 400. म्हणजे तूं 400 लोक पळय हांगा प्रोड्यूस करता, ते 400 लोकांक तूं सिप्लान घालतलो आनी बाकीच्या इंडस्ट्रीन कितें करपाचें. सो यू आर ब्रिंगींग इन पीपल, लोडिंग देम ऑन द इन्फ्रास्ट्रक्चर ऑफ गोवा which we cannot sustain by bullying the people. Stop bullying. The first thing for these politicians is stop bullying, come with facts and figures and analysis and say so. Yeah. And that has not been happening.
So that is one aspect. Now the major aspect for us in this IDC complex is your pollution. By raisal हो पळय प्रश्न पळय हा पोल्युशन तो आदींचो आशिल्लो, कित्याक 27 years आदीं आशिल्लो तो परत आतां तोच आहा हो नवो प्रॉब्लेम जाल्लो आसा.
टू टेल यू, फॉर माय मॅरेज नाव म्हज्या काजाराक आतां सुमार 14 वर्सां जालीं. सो एज द ओल्ड जाणटे लोक आहाय, आय हर्ड फ्रॉम देयर माउथ की पॉल्युशन एवरी टायम पॉल्युशन आयकोता हांव. आमचे आतां आमी नवे घरान रावता, सो वी वर स्टेईंग इन द ओल्ड हावस, सो आय टू नेवर वॉक बेफूट, स्लिपर्स घालून घरान चलतालीं. सो तेन्ना ते कितलें कळना आहलें वॉट इज द थिंग, द पॉल्युशन. झाडां सगळीं ब्लॅक, लिव्स ब्लॅक जातालीं, सगळें दिश्टी पडटालें. पूण आतां कितें, वेन वन्स वी शिफ्टेड इन अ न्यू हावस, वी कांट वॉक इन द हावजीस बेफूट. म्हाका आफ्टर मॅरेज I started getting the skin infections on my foot, so which I used to never have when I was there at my mother's place. So I started noticing that. So anik slowly after आता 14 वर्सां, so after 2-3 years I started noticing there are respiratory problems. Even the children, some of the parents started telling when their children are there at home, they are getting asthma problems. शिंको येतात म्हणून. वन्स दे आर आउट ऑफ कुंकोलीम जावं स्कुलान जावं आनी मारगांव वता, दे आर स्टॉप. बट वन्स सून आफ्टर दे रीच एट होम, दे आर गेटिंग ऑल दीस थिंग्स, एलर्जीज. इवन माय डॉक्टर, वेन आय वेंट टू मीट अ स्किन स्पेशलिस्ट, डॉक्टर टोल्ड मी तुका स्किन इन्फेक्शन आहा, समथींग यू आर एलर्जीक टू. देन आय रियलाइज दॅट ऑल दीस डस्ट, whatever this black carbon, you can see every day we have to mop the houses. Forget about the houses, you don't have to go in the balconies outside. Black carbon, you have to just हात लायल्यारूच तुजे हात काळे जातात. जस्ट इमॅजिन एवरी डे
म्हाका दिसता तुमच्याच हात काळे जाता. हे पळय गव्हर्मेंटाचे एजन्सीज बेजन्सी तांकां काय जायना,
तांकां कांय ना. आय डोंट नो वॉट इज द थिंग. हिंगा लोकूय ओगो रावता. आय थिंक people should come out openly. भिरांतेन हांव नको कित्याक लोक ओगो रावता तो, बट दे हांव नको. आतां डॉक्टरान सांगलां दे आर एज्युटेटिंग फॉर द लास्ट 27 or 30 years, वॉट एवर इट इज.
पूण अकस्मात 27 years कांयच जावंक ना आतां कित्याक लोक उठलो
That is what I think. Now people can't, because the graph pollutionaचो I think it is above. तो वयर गेला आनी people cannot bear it now. It is ते कितें म्हणटा तें उदक भायर सरलां. It's going up to the limit outside. So
पूण हें आदींसून जातालें
जातालें पूण लोक वयतालो एजिटेशन जातालीं बट आय थिंक तो सपोर्ट लोकांक मेळनासलो. आय डोंट नो पॉलिटिकली वॉट एवर.
पूण आतां गोवा स्टेट पोल्युशन कंट्रोल बोर्ड ताणें सांगलां की ए कॅमिकल्स हे मेवल्या म्हूण
या
आनी गव्हर्मेंटान कित्याक हेजेर एक्शन तुका दिसता घेवंक ना म्हूण
सी आय थिंक एक कितें see when you think something good of the society, government has to do enforce certain things. Basically health center बांधली, hospitals बांधली, it's of no use. To avoid, we don't require hospitals, primary health centers. First you have to see the health precautionary measures घेवपाक जाय, and to see those, to take those precautionary measures, you see the industrial units, what type of industrial units you are bringing there.
तुवें सांगलां आतां हेल्थ सेंटर सगळे वाडले
Yeah.
कित्याक गव्हर्मेंटाकूय खबर आहा
Government
की
is
हे
a-
इंडस्ट्रीज प्रॉब्लेम जातले
Government is aware of
Why?
all these things, but government is not giving a damn to these issues.
Why?
कितले फावटी लोक गेलो बोर्ड मतलब गव्हर्मेंटाचे कान बंद आसात, लोकांचे problems they are not taking seriously. For this reason, people have to come out. This is not something about.
होच इश्यू आतां असेंब्लीन देखून आतां गेल्ले असेंब्लीन हो हाडलेलो आसा आनी चीफ मिनिस्टरान सांगलां एक्शन आपूण सुवात करतलो म्हूण
Let me tell you about this. Even I was watching the sessions, but I think our representative have not brought this issue of pollution. He has brought up one issue of regarding one encroachment of one of the industry which is now newly coming up.
Yes.
He didn't speak. I'm telling you because our representatives, we elect them for the good cause. आमचे
But then it is people who elect, so people are electing so that you continue with this pollution. Dr. Johnson, I think
See, a Cuncolim industrial estate has become a milking cow. I'm very harsh on it, but it is a milking cow. आयज जर तरी आमी बोवाळ मारता जाल्यार जायत एका तेंपार आमी बोवाळ मारता तेन्ना आमकां म्हणटाले 4 बोकडां घेवन दोतोर जॉर्सन झगडटा म्हणून आनी हे 4 बोकडां कडेन कांय जावपाना थंय पोल्युशन कांय ना म्हणून टील वी पुट अप द रिपोर्ट्स इन टू द प्रेस बिकॉज वी वर वेटिंग फॉर द रिपोर्ट्स आमकां ते रिपोर्ट आमच्या हातांत जाय आशिल्ले लोकांच्या तोंडार मारपाक दाखोवपाक जे कोण पळय तेन्ना जोखी आलेमा आशिल्लो आमचो तांकां दाखोवपाक बाबा पळय हे रिपोर्ट हे आमी करूं ना हे पोल्युशन कंट्रोल बोर्डान केल्ले आसा रिपोर्ट म्हणून आमकां ते रिपोर्ट मेळटकीर थोडे लोक कन्विन्स जाले तांकां कळ्ळें बट इट इज बिकम अ मिल्किंग काव बिकॉज वॉट आय रियलायज एज आय वॉज एजिटेटिंग वेन आर लेटर वॉज कन्वर्टेड इन टू अ पब्लिक इंटरेस्ट लिटिगेशन वी हॅड टू सबमिट ऑल दोज रिपोर्ट्स टू द कोर्ट आय स्टील रिमेंबर द जज टेलिंग अस योर हॉर्स इज नॉट बोल्टेड इट इज नॉट देर इन टू द स्टेबल shut down those factories by 5 p.m. today. That was the verdict that was given. आज जर तो पळोवपाक गेलो जायत जो पळय hazardous waste पळय आसा when Sunrise Zinc and Nicomet was brought into Cuncolim वो दोन्ही फॅक्टरी हाडपाक आमी तांचे हाय पावर कमिटी पळय आसा तांचे मिनट्स काडून पळयले ते मिनट्सां बरयले आसा गोवा स्टेट पोल्युशन कंट्रोल बोर्ड हॅड रेज सर्टन पॉयंट्स one point was that whatever zinc ash for that zinc Sunrise Zinc that was being brought and nickel ash whatever is there that is brought from outside तातून कितें जाल्यार एक रेडिओ एक्टिव्ह आयझोटोपीन आसल्यार आमच्या लोकांक त्रास जातले ते भायल्याच्यान येता इट इज अ बाय प्रोडक्ट ऑफ अनदर फॅक्टरी वीच इज बींग यूज टू प्रिपेअर झिंक इन गॉड्स एंड ऑल दॅट हाका लागून ते म्हणपाक लागले इट इज नॉट रायट इनफ सेकंड रिजन वॉज गिवन इज दॅट द प्रोसेस वॉज इंडिजिनस इट वॉज नॉट बींग ट्रायड अँड द थर्ड रिजन दे हॅड गिवन वॉज दॅट द एफ्लुएंट ट्रीटमेंट प्लांट इज नॉट बींग ट्रायड सो ह्यो फॅक्टरी आमकां नाका म्हणून You read the next minute of the high power committee, Sunrise Zinc and Nicomet is given allocation of properties at the Cuncolim industrial estate. How can this happen without analyzing what was given by the Goa State Pollution Control Board? Who has taken the money to push it to Cuncolim? Are these people here to save us? No. They are all here to make money over these industries. Nobody is here to save the people of Cuncolim. Everybody is milking that same bloody cow. आमी दुल्लो खातात आमी तो कॅडमियम खातात क्रोमियम खातात आमी तातूंतले आर्सेनिक खातात लेड खातात झिंक खातात कॉपर खातात आनी हे जेम आनी बटर खाताय
So despite repeated complaints, media reports and exposure and exposing water and air pollution, the authorities have turned a blind eye and allowed polluting units to continue with their operations. There is an agency called the Goa Environment Impact Assessment Authority. What is their role in these operations?
I'll now dissect the whole problem for you. आमचे IDC पळय हा इंडस्ट्रियल डेव्हलपमेंट कॉर्पोरेशन. This IDC is to provide all the facilities. उदक जाय, इलेक्ट्रिसिटी जाय, रोड्स जाय, गटर जाय, ट्रक बे जाय, कोण ट्रकान येतात तांकां खंय रावपाक तांकां टॉयलेट जाय, तांकां रावपाचे रूम जाय, हे सगळ्या IDCन करपाचें. Goa State Pollution Control Board is supposed to be looking after what is happening to their effluent treatment plants, whether they are working, whether they are meeting all the norms, compliances, is to be seen by the Goa State Pollution Control Board. Factories and boilers is supposed to look into the safety aspect of all the employees, the habitation that is staying in and around there is supposed to be seen by the factories and boilers. The environmental assessment has to be done by the people, what we are talking about, the authority that is there, Environment Impact Assessment Authority. आता थंय फिश मिल आसात, जशें पळय तुका आतां रेजल पळय सांगताले वास येता, सोंसपा जायना, धुलो आसा तो आमचे सगळे स्टील मिलांचो. बट वेन वी आर टॉकिंग अबाउट द फिश मिल्स आर नॉट टू बी लोकेटेड वेर देर आर हॅबिटेशन.
आणि आता हे आयको येता एक फिश मिल काणकोणा खोला म्हूण थिंग ही फिश मिल येवपाचें आहा. ताका हे प्रॉब्लेम पळय फिश मिल पळय कोरता म्हाका दिसना ताका खबर आहा म्हूण.
ना कांयच खबर ना त्या लोकांक, आनी तेमी ते मातशें ताजेर शिटूक रावपा जाय. बिकॉज आमचे कडेन एक फिश मिल आशिल्ली, BJP गव्हर्मेंट आसता तेन्ना आनीक आयल्यो, एड जाल्यो ताका. सो आर प्रॉब्लेम इज बिकम वर्स. When you know that one fish mill itself that is existing is not maintaining the norms, what made you bring another one? What made you bring the third one? आता ह्यो फिश मिल पळय आसा, लास्ट टायम तेणी आमी स्कॅनर हाडून तांकां पळयलें की तांचे कडेन ट्यूबवेल्स आसात. ते एफ्लुएंट पळय आसा ते ट्यूबवेलांतल्यान भितर सोडटात, बिकॉज टू ट्रीट इट कॉस्ट देम मनी. सो टू इन्क्रीज द मार्जीन ऑफ प्रॉफिट विदाउट ट्रिटींग ते काडटा आनी ते आमचे ट्यूबवेलांक बोरवेलांक घालतात. म्हणजे आमी ते बोरवेल कोणे मारल्या, कितें मारल्या, तांकां आपोवचे, सगळी केस बीस केली तांचेर. स्कॅनर वॉज बींग ब्रॉट. लूक एट द वॉटर रिसोर्स डिपार्टमेंट, बिकॉज नाव इट इज द वॉटर, ग्रावंड वॉटर, ते चॅक करपा आशिल्लें. बोरवेल पळय आसा तातूंत सबमर्सिबल पंप आशिल्लो, हेमी तो पंप पयलो काडलो. कितले अन्नाडे ते पळय, हाव बिग इडियट्स दीस पीपल आर. आनी मागीर बाटली घालतात उदक काडपाक. बाटली कशी वतली त्या बोरवेलांतल्यान, धाकट्या पायपांतल्यान? ती बाटली हे वटेन लागता, ते वटेन लागता, तातूंत कितें घालपाक शकना, बिकॉज वी वॉन्ट द एक्झॅक्ट सॅम्पल. सो द वॉटर रिसर्च डिपार्टमेंट वॉज अ फेलियर. Goa State Pollution Control Board never even thought that they would have such type of bore wells, which are even still existing today, in which they are putting all their effluent, which is not being treated, and it is nothing but organic matter. It leaves behind hydrogen sulfide gas. It smells very bad, and this organic matter with all E. coli is coming into the groundwater. It is coming into our wells.
So all your wells,
all are polluted.
All are polluted now.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
See, wells, having a well in a house means like a treasure, एक गिरेज काय ती.
Oy.
But here the situation is different. All our wells, potable water, the water table is polluted.
And is it correct that they say that the fish meal plant is the main cause of air, water and land pollution, and that they are flouting all norms?
Exactly.
Is it
Because
correct?
early morning if you get up, we have to bear this foul smell emitted by these fish meals. Then late night, if you go out, you cannot bear the smell. It is, like kind of congestion is creating in the respiratory system. We can't breathe freely. The air itself is polluted. Fish meal जाले आनी सोसपाकूच जायना. Whoever the relatives come, ते विचारतात नुस्त्याची बोडकां भायरूच कुल्ल्या कितें गो म्हणून. But we have to, what to do?
Yeah, that means they could carry on with all these nefarious activities earlier, and now they are still not bothered. They carry them. Is it because the authorities are hand in glove with all these
तेंच म्हणपाचें पडलें आतां, because whenever the agitations are being conducted, लोक जेन्ना वयतात न्हय, they stop everything passing that effluent. You will find those drainages, dried up, because they know something people are agitating. So for that time being, they will shut all those activities. And then again restart. मातसो लोक मागीर ओगो रावलो, then again their same thing will go. So that means...
And they सांगता की this is affecting only the municipal area and a few villages, especially Ambauli.
Yeah.
That means majority is not affected.
I'm not saying only the neighboring. it's, I think even doctor will tell you better, because I don't know much about the neighboring villages, because I think because it's passed through the environment, through the air, so I think it will must be going beyond 2-3 kilometers, because Ambali is at our borderline.
Yeah. So people from Ambauli must have been severely affected.
Exactly.
Very badly affected. I'll give you the whole dynamics. Hazardous waste जो पडे हा सनरायज झिंक आणि तसोच hazardous waste जो पडे हा निकोमेटाचो. Hazardous waste of sunrise zinc, they have put it at Pardi. Pardi म्हळ्यार काणकोण वता आसतना about 7 to 8 kilometers. आमकां कळटगीर आमी थंय गेले कित्याक खुबशे लोडेड ट्रक्स वे गोईंग ऑन, सो वी हॅड टू डू ऑल द सर्वेलन्स वेर दीस ट्रक्स आर गोईंग एंड एम्प्टिंग. ते वचून थंय पळयतगीर थंय एक व्हडली चिऱ्यांची फोंडी आशिल्ली. दॅट विल बी ऑलमोस्ट टू द ट्यून ऑफ अराउंड 3,000 square meters to 4,000 square meters. And depth will be almost around 20 feet. आमी कोंड्याची बोडी घातली थंय, आख्खी कोंड्याची बोडी भितर घेतली. आमी म्युनिसिपलाचो चीफ ऑफिसराक घेवन गेले थंय, आमी ताका दाखयलें, हांवें सी दिस इज द hazardous waste. हो hazardous waste आमी चॅक केलो. इट केम एज नथिंग बट द बाय प्रोडक्ट ऑफ सनरायज झिंक. आनी त्या दिसाचेर तेन्ना ती फॅक्टरी बंद केल्ली. आमकां एक जाणटी बायल मेळ्ळी. ती जाणटी बायल ती पळोवपाक, बाबा कितें आयलें म्हणपाक, हांवें म्हणलें ना गे आई, म्हणल्यार हांगा म्हणलें चिऱ्या फोणी कितें घातलें म्हळ्यार, आमकां कितें हाडलां. हांवें म्हणलें हें तुमकां म्हण ईक वाळून घातलां हांगा, म्हण ताका लागून आमी तपासपा येयले. गेले फावट हांगा 5,000 दिलो मरे बाबा. So now everybody is milking the cow and they are forcing also the people also to take some money out of that and keep quiet.
Yeah.
So everybody is keeping quiet. That poor lady, old lady, she doesn't know that there's poison being brought and put into her neighborhood. She's happy with 5,000 that's been given to her. She doesn't even know what that will cause to her grandchildren.
Exactly.
ही परिस्थिती. पिर्ला म्हणटा तो गांव, इट इज ऑलमोस्ट अबाउट अनदर 8-12 किलोमिटर्स. थंय कमीचे कमी म्हळ्यार अबाउट 4 फुटाचे स्लॅब सामके आख्खे ग्रावंडार घालून तेमी भरला आनी ताजे वयल्यान तांबडी माती घातल्या चिऱ्यांची. सो तें पोकलीन घालून ते माती थोडी काडली. तो सारको स्लॅब कळटा तांबडे, मागीर तुगेलो असो ग्रीन वेस्ट आनी मागीर परत तांबडे. सो अबाउट 3 फुटांची सुमार सॉलिड वेस्ट, hazardous waste which is not being treated is being put there. आता वो hazardous waste treatment plant, or if you want to have a capsule in which you can put it, is a facility that needs to be provided by the IDC. Goa State Pollution Control Board is supposed to supervise it, whether it is scientifically being done or not. आमचे एज्युटेशन जातगीर 27 वर्सां फाटीं ह्यो फॅक्टरी हाडून घातिल्ल्यो, एज्युटेशन जातगीर हायकोर्ट म्हणटा बाबा यू नीड टू कंटेन इट. सो आमकां एक लँडफील सायट दिली, तातूंत ते रबर बिबर घालून सगळी मेटा बिटा घालून तो hazardous waste तातूंत घातला. बरें, सनरायज झिंक खंय गेले. आतां तुका तो 2012चो रिपोर्ट तुमी सांगता तो रिपोर्टाचेर गोवा स्टेट पोल्युशन कंट्रोल बोर्ड should have fined Sunrise Zinc and Nicomet. They collect only money for themselves. They don't collect money for the kitty of the Goa State Pollution Control Board. So finally that hazardous waste is still there in Cuncolim. Azun पर्यंत आसा.
But if I am not wrong, there were fines worth rupees 7.2 crore.
फिश मिल.
Yeah.
त्या फिश मिलाचे
होय.
जेन्ना पळय आमी लास्ट टायम बोवाळ पळय केलो, बोवाळ करतगीर ते आमचे पळय बोरवेल पळय आसा तातूंत गेले, ते सगळे फायंड आउट केले. I was the person who complained. I was the person who said I want to come for the hearing. म्हाका लेटर धाडप ना. They have called all the other fish mill owners for the thing, and तांचे कोण सायंटिस्ट आनी एडवोकेट सगळे आयल्यात. हांवें म्हणलें तुमची मिटींग बंद उडयतलो, म्हाका आपयना जाल्यार. सकाळ फुडें म्हाका मेल धाडलो. I went there for the thing. One of the person is telling us that I have got 2,000 square meters of land and I have got lot of banana plantation. I put all that effluent that is treated over there, so there is no smell coming. आमचे कितली केडे आहा, आपणाकडे 3-4 हजार केडे आहा म्हणपा तातून. अरे, आय एम ऑल्सो एन एग्रीकल्चरिस्ट. 2,000 जमनीचेर तुका 3-4 हजार केळी लावपाक जायना. केळीचे पानच आहा 1.5 मीटर. तूं स्पेस सुटलो जाल्यार तुका 3 मिटरांचेर 2 केळी लावपाक जाय. सो तुजे कडेन 3,000 आसा, तूं 2,000 केळी कसो लायतलो? कितें करप तें पळय आतां. आनी ह्या बिस्ताचेर 7.22 crores आसा ते. Some calculation they have done, they have put this particular fine. Finally, at the end of the hearing and something has happened, and then after some 2 months or 3 months, they reduced it to 5 lakhs. On what basis? ते बॉल मारताय, कोविड जाला, आमकां प्रॉफिट काय ना. अरे तुम लोकां मारताय, तुम प्रॉफिट करपा आयले ना, तुम लोकां मारपा आयले. यू लव एस criminals of Goa. And who has been holding the hand of the sword and giving it into their hands is the politicians and all the authorities that are supposed to, they are all the criminals who are supposed to see that they are meeting the compliances. So people of Cuncolim who fought once upon a time for their freedom are being killed today, and there is no time that is required for the Cuncolim people to rise, and if they rise, it will be a massacre of these people.
Exactly.
The last time we have done this, We have seen that the water resource department people were heckled. We have seen that the Goa State Pollution Control Board people were heckled. And we got it finally from the High Court. हे आमकां करपा नाका पूण न्हिदली वागा उडयप म्हणल्यार उठयप म्हणल्यार तें वायट आनी उठयले जाल्यार आमचे कुंकळकार एक जर जाग्यार आयले आय थिंक एवरीबडी वील बी कट इन टू अ सायज.
पूण अशें दिसता की सगळे कुंकळकार हे इश्यूआचेर एजिटेशनाक ना म्हूण कित्याक सगळे तरी एक वॉयसान तरी सगळे आयले तशें आतां पेडणें बी सगळें जाल्लें आसा तशें जाल्या बगर कांयच तुमचें जावचें ना.
This is Jovit, is because of the politicians who give and take. आपुणूय घेतले थोडे कितें इजमॉल आसता दुसऱ्याकय घालतले तूं ओगी राव रे ते जॉर्सनात दोन गाळ मार रे आनी कितें कर रे अशें करून ते कुशन काडटाय. I had my full fleet of people. Next day the police officer comes to arrest them. False cases are being filed against them. What happens? Parents are scared. म्हजो भुरगो तारवार वचपाचो, म्हजो भुरगो गल्फा वचपाचो, म्हजो भुरगो आनी खंय कामां लागपाचो, ताजेर केसी आसतल्यो, कितें करपाचें? अश्यो गोश्टी जातकीर आवय म्हणटा बाबा तूं आनी थंय वचनाका, तूं कुशीन राव. So we have taken a strategy to fight our own war. So we are writing
and one thing
letters.
people are not aware तितली severity of this problem ते लोकांच्या तोकल्यान गेली ना. Doctor has explained so nicely the severity, the hazardous material what is lying over there, the factories, what type of pollution it is creating. ते लोकांच्या तोकलेन तितले भितर सरलो ना. Severity, what type of diseases, illnesses, right now लोक दुयेंसां जाली ओगी घेवन रावता. कोणाक सांगूय लॉ दिसता अमकें जालां. For example, cancer, nobody wants to tell, come out and tell. So
Do you
people
think,
want
doctor,
to sit.
there were problems related to cancer?
Yes, there are. There are problems that are related to cancer, and we need to check everybody's blood because these precautionary measures are very, very important for all of us. Because there are now several cases that we find of lung cancer. आमचो सूट पळय जो येता carbon particle which are settling into the houses. What elements are there? Nobody has tested. The foliage gets burnt with किट्टी पळय आसा उज्याची ती पडटकीर ते foliage बंद जाता. Leaves are turning black. It goes finally into the land. As the storm water comes in, then it goes into the groundwater. These are all issues that are there. So we need to check everybody's health, but who will check?
Who will check?
That's the issue. Number two, there are locals. एक दोन दाम पितळ मेळ्ळे आनी दोन बारके नुस्त्या मेळ्ळे की ना घे ती वचून फोटो बिटो काडपाक तांकां तयार करपाक खूब लोक आहाय. तयार केले मागीर तांकां ती भितरल्यान धाडपाक पयशे घेवपाक आनी दोग जाण लोक आहाय. तांकां काय इजमॉल घालतले थोडे आपणा कडेन दवरतात. दीज डोनेशन्स फ्रॉम दी इंडस्ट्री should be stopped. Should be stopped. सामको point blank it should be stopped. They should go through a corporate social responsibility. And the CSR project, it should be done through the schools and the churches.
Exactly.
And only then everything will be streamlined here. So that no politician should be allowed to go in there and to get all these things done because none of them are doing it. It is only a lip sympathy for the people. दोन दीस येताय बॉल करताय कुशन करताय मागीर कोणाले कोण बॉलच ना. Okay.
Exactly.
But also there is a complaint saying that these factories have not obtained prior environment clearance and also operating without even installing proper chimneys.
Yes. आता ते चिमणीचे प्रॉब्लेम जाता तुका. हायकोर्टान पळय आमी गेले. हायकोर्टान गेले तेन्ना चिमणी तांच्यो एट लो लेवल आशिल्ल्यो. आता ते वयर घालतलो एक कॉस्ट जालो बिकॉज इन हायट यू हॅव टू गो अप. दुसरें ताका ते स्ट्रिंग्स बांदपा जाय सपोर्टाक. तिसरें ताका कॅनोपी करपा जाय. कॅनवसाची कॅनोपी करता ताका आणि दॅट इज बींग सेंट एट सच हाय स्पीड इट सेटल्स डावन ऑन दॅट कॅनोपी आणि ताका उदर पंप करून तितल्या हायटीचेर वयर घालपा जाय so that it comes into a gallon drain. Now electrical cost is there, taking the chimney up cost is there, canopy cost is there. तो कोणाक कांयच करपा नाका. हे आमच्यो आतां इंडस्ट्री पळय आसा बिगिनिंग साकून आशिल्ल्यो ह्यो. When the industrial estate came, canopy घालपाक चिमणी वयर व्हरपाक हायकोर्टांतल्यान ऑर्डर जाय. So what was the government doing all these years? आणि हें करपाक दोतोर जॉन्सनान ताजे वांगडी जाय तुमकां सांगपाकूच तुमगेलें रॉंग आसा म्हणून. You need NIRI, National Institute of Environmental Engineering, to tell you, Baba, this is what is being required, you are not doing it properly. So only after research comes in. But if you look at the precautionary measures, it is always being clearly mentioned. जो कोण पळय proponent आसा, the one who proposes that my project will come, he is supposed to make a study and tell that this is what I am supposed to have. And that is what the IDC is supposed to provide. IDC doesn't provide.
So you all had gone to the High Court.
Yes.
And then what happened?
Sunrise Zinc got closed. Nicomet was being closed. And then Nicomet said, okay, we are meeting the compliances. Compliances मेळटा म्हणून तेमी चालू केली. They went in the red. Because तांचे कडेन पयशे नाशिल्ले ते सगळे compliance to meet those compliances. So a stage came in to meet those compliances. They spent the money. They went into a loss. Because they were giving money for the politicians. They were not giving money for meeting the compliances. They closed it down. They went in the red. that is the time Goa State Pollution Control Board goes to the authority that is there when they are going in the red. तांचे थोडे पळय पयशे कितें पळय उरल्या ते एम्प्लॉइजांक दितात आनी कोण दितात थंय वचून गोवा स्टेट पोल्युशन कंट्रोल बोर्ड लालच्यान थंय वचून उबो रावला म्हाका कितें दिया म्हणून कित्याक तें आतां उरते वेस्ट आहा तो खंय तरी जाग्यार घालपाक जाय तूं इतलो तें खंय आशिल्लो Is it not the Goa State Pollution Control Board? It is your duty to see that Baba all these compliances are met with. तूं वचून मागीर ते रेडान वतकीर लायनी उबो रावता. So Goa State Pollution Control Board today doesn't have a landfill site. The landfill site now, the Goa Industries Association, private Goa Industries Association have demarcated one land which government has given them. In that they are putting the hazardous waste. How can Sunrise Zinc hazardous waste, which is as big as this building where we are doing the shooting today, वो वेस्ट त्या कित्याक घेतले ते म्हणटले आमकां पयशे दियात तुमगे वेस्ट ट्रीट करपा आल्यार सो वेर इज द गोवा स्टेट पोल्युशन कंट्रोल बोर्ड टुडे तूं 7 कोट्यांचे फायन आसा ती कॅल्क्युलेशन करून तूं 5 लाखांचेर हाडटा सो हाव विल यू ट्रीट सो गोवा स्टेट पोल्युशन कंट्रोल बोर्ड आसा इट्स अ पोल्युशन कॉजिंग बोर्ड इट इज नॉट अ कंट्रोल बोर्ड
Also, the State Expert Appraisal Committee, they had recommended to the Goa State Environment Impact Assessment Authority for immediate closure of one factory for causing massive air pollution and operating without obtaining environmental clearance. This decision was taken then on December 4.
Yeah. अशी खूब आहात हें जालें की ना then they go to grease the hands of the people and the authorities. मागीर सगळीं न्हिदपा वता they will find some cause like the way I told you last time. कोविड आशिल्लें आमी लॉसान गेले आमी आतां करतले फाल्यां करतले and that is the time the pollution control board will say okay the fine is being reduced. My question to the pollution control board is you have calculated based on this calculation you have put a fine for all those fish mills of 7.2 crores. What is your calculation now to make it 5 lakhs or 5 crores or whatever it is? What is your calculation? Calculations ना तूं एकटो आसा बसून जोगलेकर म्हणून चीफ सायंटिस्ट खंय नासलो चीफ सायंटिस्ट काय चीफ सायंटिस्ट म्हणून म्हाका खबर ना but he is operating like this. So how do you calculate? You are bringing a loss to the revenue of the government of Goa and everybody seems to be keeping quiet.
Exactly.
You expect the people to raise question, then what are the elected representatives are doing?
Exactly.
So, the situation you mean to say now has
It's very
gone
serious.
out of control?
Yeah, out of control. It's out. If people don't come out now, it is gone forever. It's going forever. So uprising is needed.
That means such a situation would not have happened without active collusion of some insiders too and the government?
Government, yes.
Do you
exactly.
feel so?
Yeah, exactly. Because see, unless and until government, our representatives and the people, when they go in hand, situation will be in under control. लोकांनी जागृताय दाखोवपाक जाय की लोक ओगो बसता. Why they went to such an extent? Because people are quiet. लोक अजूनही न्हिदलेलो आहा. लोकांक अजून जाग येयल्ली ना. Because they have not understood the severity. कितें जालें? They want the MLA to be there, the representative. Representative म्हणटा लोकांना आपल्या बरें येवचें. Why we have to go to every time to the elected representative? He is not aware about all these problems. He has to be there when people are agitating. He has to be there with the people. Why every time we have to run to the MLA or elected representatives? So people have not yet understood the real severity of this problem.
And now the people are asking that there should be an office of the State Pollution Control Board there at the site.
Goa State Pollution Control Boardच्या ऑफिसाक घालतलो जायत you can always have like IDC has an office there, there's a field manager there, you can always have. There's no issues on having a Goa State Pollution Control Board office, but then it will become more easier for these people to grease the palms of those few people down there and continue. ते म्हणटले गोय आमकां सांगला आमकां करता this is what will happen. And everybody will think that what has been happening is good enough because the Goa State Pollution Control Board office is there. IDC office was there right from the beginning, but they never provided a landfill site for the industries till we went to the High Court. These are the issues. Bore wells are being done over there without taking the permission from the Water Resource Department. So then you have to bring all the offices, Water Resource Department, Factories and Boilers, Goa State Pollution Control Board, IDC, सगळी ऑफिसां हाडची पडली. सगळी ऑफिसां हाडून लेगीत हें चालू उरतलें कित्याक लोक पळय आसा जे ऑफिसान कामां करतात तांकां जाय पयशे सो ते म्हणटा म्हाका पयशे दी तुजें काम तूं चालू कर नाल्यार तुका जाय तशें कर म्हजें पोट भरलें म्हजी बॉल्स भरलीं काबार जालें आनी तातूंत मागीर थोडे लोकल पळय कोण आसा तेवूय वतात तांचे बरोबर सो दिस इज द इश्यू द इलेक्टेड रिप्रेझेंटेटिव्ह से ओके यू गिव मी ऑल्सो मनी आय वॉन्ट टू फायट माय इलेक्शन्स तांकां पयशे दिले तो म्हणटा लोकां म्हणल्यार गेला रे ताका मातशें 4 बोकडां घेवन बरें ते मात तुजे फाटी लागतात सो एवरी सायड यू फायंड there is a
Yes, yes.
split of the people of Cuncolim, either by the authorities or by the elected representatives.
Do you agree with
Yes, absolutely. I agree with the sir. तेच जाता. And that's how this agitation, they start with force and they just go off.
But 27 years, don't you think it's too?
Yeah, I think because half of our life is gone in this, I think. It's gone. And I don't know the coming generation, what they'll achieve, what they will get, what is there for them in store, I don't know.
But why people in large numbers don't come out and say there is a serious problem for all of us?
That's what I've said, no? Because people have not understood the severity of this problem. Tinga kitlo kochro aha bitor bollolo and how it is affecting their life. They have not understood. They are only within those four walls of their houses. This is my life. They are not going beyond what is going on. So people have to come out. They have to agitate because it is not only their life. The next generation which is going to come
and it
is
will
going
be
to
mostly
affect.
the children.
Children are affecting. They are right now. They are having the problems. My son is having sneezing all the time. When he goes to his school, he goes to Margaon. He's safe. But once he returns home, he starts sneezing. So my doctor said he is allergic to the dust. Keep mopping, keep changing the bed sheets. So that this is how our children are affecting now.
Don't the people in Cuncolim know about the seriousness of this problem?
Even if you tell the people, there will be always bigots who are wanting the money that is coming from the elected representatives. पयलीं जर पळोवपाक गेलो जायत जाल्यार आमी पयल्यान इंडस्ट्रियल एस्टेट वॉज गिवींग फंडींग फॉर ऑल सॉर्ट्स ऑफ एक्टिविटीज फॉर स्पोर्ट्स एक्टिविटीज आनी कितें ते लोक पळय आसात ते तुजेर केन्ना एगेन्स्ट येवपाना अशे पेरिफेरी पयस रावतले
Yeah, exactly.
एंड दे वील गो एंड टेल पीपल डोंट वरी तो ग्रुप हांव स्प्लीट करता आनी परत वचून थंयच्यान पयशे घेतले सो दिस इज द टायप ऑफ अ सिट्युएशन दॅट वी हॅव इन कुंकोलीम सो यू वॉट हॅपन्स इज तूं मुखार वता फाटल्यान तुका सांबर दिसता अरे 750 लोकांनी सायन मारला आसा आसतले म्हणून तूं फाटल्यान वळून पळयल्यार तूं एकटो मुखार आहा
Exactly.
फाटल्यान कोण ना गेले सगळ्यांक स्प्लीट करून काबार केले आनी जर तर जायना जालें जाय देन कोहेसिव फोर्स हाजेर पुलीस केस घाल रे ताका भितर उडय रे ताका आनी कितें कर रे लायक इन सनरायज झिंक their shade is there and the top roof shade is coming down to the wall and they filed a case against me with a big green pipe. They were putting the acid where the pH was about 3 or 2 or something and that acid was put onto the ground आमी ताका सामको red handed दल्लो आमी आपयले लोकांक collector is not sending the people. We called the CM दिगंबर कामत आशिल्लो he did not send the people. आमी कितलो बोवाळ केलो बाबा येयात म्हणून we found him at around 10 o'clock without food. We were there till 4 o'clock. Goa State Pollution Control Boardaक सांगलें कोण येनात फायनली द सेम सनरायझिंग मेड अ केस दॅट आमी तेंचेर खंय फातर मारले अरे युअर शेड इज लायक दीस आनी फातर दाखयतात त्या पुलिसाक पुलीस म्हणटा दोतोर यू आर अंडर अरेस्ट आमी कित्याक रे ना तुमी फातर मारला आमी फातर भितर कसो पडलो आमी खंय तरी वयर शेड फुटपा जाय मरे ती म्हळ्यार आख्खी शेड अशी आहा कसो पडलो फातर ना ते सांगताय आमी ते सांगताय तुका म्हण अकल आसा दिस इज वॉट द पॉलिटिशियन्स डू एका तेंपार जर तर जोकीन जर तेन्ना बॉल मारिल्लो आज तेका पुताक बॉल मारपाक कोण नाशिल्लो This is how the split happens. So you don't go on milking the cow just like that for the sake of money. Fight for the people that have elected you.
Yeah, exactly.
And that is what is important.
So I think we are coming to the end of our discussion. Breaking this barrier will be pretty tough job. 27 plus years. The problem is affecting almost everybody in Cuncolim, and the factories must remain under constant watch of Pollution Control Authority. There are also people who say that non-treated water is released into water bodies and bore wells, and this is affecting fields and wells. The earlier the government and the authorities take control of this situation, I think the health of the people of Cuncolim is in peril. Thank you very much, Dr. Johnson, for being with us, and also Razel for sharing your views and your problems, and let us hope so that better days will come to all the people of Cuncolim. Thank you very much, Razel. Thank you, Dr. Johnson.